Hello, dear students, and a very good morning to all of you. Today, we are going to start the geography part, and today I am going to provide you the fifth chapter of geography. The name of the chapter is Agricultural Practices. Okay, basically, in this, we are going to learn about the significance of agriculture and the types of agriculture. Okay, we will learn about what is agriculture, what are its significance, and what are the types of farming that exist. Okay, so basically, let's start a chapter with some practical experience as all of us are familiar with villages. We are very well knowing about village or about the rural life. Rural life is very different from city life. There are never ending fields, clean air and simple lifestyle. There is no such kind of rush on the roads as cities, less population, and it must be a bliss. Rural areas are somewhat familiar to the places where we grow raw materials for the industries that work in the cities. So basically, rural areas are the places or the villages are the places where there are agricultural field, and from those agricultural field we get lots of raw materials or lots of food items, beverages and all those things. Okay? So basically the food items, the beverages, the raw materials for manufacturing products as well as like wheat, bajra, paddy, maize, okay, sugarcane, all these are the raw materials that we get from the rural areas or from the farms of the rural areas. Now, as we are knowing that whatever comes to us as finished product in the market or whatever we are purchasing, okay, that is a mix of several raw materials that are grown and cultivated in the farms, and this particular transformation from a plant to a finished product involves various types of activities. As you can see in the picture, there is wheat, okay, and we get flour from the wheat, and that is a long process from which the wheat is converted into the flour that we consume at our homes. So basically, the manufactured product or the finished product that we get in the market, okay, it involves or it moves through various processes, then it reach to us as finished product. So as we have learned in class 6 also about this thing, that all these involves three kinds of economic activities. The first is the primary activity, the next is the secondary activity, and the third is tertiary activity. Okay, I hope it will be. So the three sectors that are interdependent on one another, that is the primary one, the secondary and the tertiary. We are very well familiar about these three types of economical activities. Primary, its name is primary because this is the first one. So basically what is primary activities? All activities that involve extraction and production of or natural resources are called primary activities. So basically the things that are in nature, okay, and we are extracting that from nature, that is only known as the primary activity. Like farming, the fields are available, soil is available, okay, natural conditions are available, we are growing crops or we are growing food crops or crops for us. So that is also we are using the modifying that natural resource, okay, like that only. Mining is there, fishing is there, pottery is there, okay, all these comes under the primary sector, where we basically extract and produce the natural resources. Okay, forestries or when we use the wood products or the forest products, that is the forestry. So the primary sector is basically all the activities that involve extraction and production of natural resources are called primary activities. Okay, examples are so many like agriculture, dairy, fishing, forestry and all these. So agriculture is related to the primary sector. Agriculture is a primary economic activity because firstly we will grow the crops, then only it will go for manufacturing. Next is secondary sector. As we are knowing that when we get the raw materials, or where we get the natural resources, there are some natural resources that we cannot consume directly. Okay, those natural resources should be processed properly, then only it will be able, or it will become useful for us. So basically the activities that are concerned to the processing of the natural resources, that means the economic activity into which the natural resources are processed. Okay, basically the things are manufactured, or we can say that the economic activities in which the form or the natural resources are modified. Okay, so the secondary sector covers activities in which natural products are changed into another form through ways of manufacturing that we associate with industrial activity. So basically in the secondary sector we are having the manufacturing word, we are having the processing word, we are having the modification word. Okay, so or all these things, all the processing or manufacturing take place in industries. So basically in secondary sector industries are there. Okay, like manufacturing of steel, baking of bread. Okay, and weaving of clothes, all these are the secondary activities. Okay, now the next one is tertiary activities. Now students, as we have learned the things in the primary sector, we are extracting the natural resources. In the secondary, we are changing it. But now we need the medium, okay, to sell it. Okay, or we need capital to do all those manufacturing or to put industries. So for that we need finances, for that we need transportation, and all these comes under the tertiary sector. That means the activities or that help in the development of the primary and secondary sector is called tertiary sector. Okay, so basically tertiary activities, what is the work of tertiary activities? To provide support to the primary and secondary sectors. Okay, there are lots of examples, like with transportation, with trading, with banking, with insurance, and by advertising. So all these comes under the tertiary sector. Okay, like people used to do, like all the person those who provide services, they comes under the tertiary sector, like doctors, police, nurses, teachers, all these comes under the tertiary sector. But if we will talk about agriculture and production, so in that there is banking, insurance, trading, transportation, and advertising. Okay, now let's see the next one. Now we are going to learn about what is agriculture. Okay, so basically agriculture, that means agriculture is made up of two Latin words. The first word is agri, that means soil. Okay, the word agar means soil, and the next word is culture. The word culture means cultivation. That what is the meaning of agriculture? So basically what is agriculture? Agriculture is science also and art also. So agriculture is the science and art of cultivation on the soil for growing crops and rearing livestock. So basically what is agriculture? In agriculture all these things come: cultivation on the soil for growing crops also, and in that rearing livestock will also come. When people used to rear animals, that also comes under the agriculture. So like I just told you that agriculture is a primary activity, and the word agriculture is derived from the Latin word agar, okay, or agri, that means soil, and culture, that means cultivation. Agriculture is basically the science and art of cultivation on the soil, okay, of raising crops and rearing livestock. As you are knowing that agriculture is also known as farming. We can also say farming. Agriculture include growing of crops also, growing of fruits also, growing of vegetables also. Okay, growing of vegetables, fruits, crops, flowers, rearing of animals also. So all these things comes under the agriculture. Agriculture is the main occupation of India, as we are knowing that two-thirds of Indian population is depending upon agriculture. Okay, so and overall, if we will talk about overall, the agriculture is practiced in over 49% of the land surface of the earth. Okay, so basically most of the countries depend upon the agriculture. Okay, so I hope it is clear to us, because agriculture is only the sector that provides us the raw material. Okay, now we will learn about the factors or the key factors for agricultural growth. Okay, now these will determine that how the agricultural production differ from one place to another. As we are learning from the starting, India is a very diverse nation. Okay, there is diversity, physical diversity also. If we will talk about climate, climate also varies from north to south, from east to west. Climate, temperature also varies. This about soil we have learned in the previous part only. Soil also varies. The relief feature, there are mountain, there are somewhere there are rivers, plateau, plains. Okay, as well as the human factors also. There are some sectors where humans are well literate, where farming is also done on large scale. Okay, where farmers are also literate, they are also knowing how to use new technologies. So all these comes under the key factor of the agricultural growth. We will talk about every factor one by one. So first one is the climate one. Okay, in the climate, okay, firstly climate, as we are knowing that there are some plants or there are some crops that need, we will learn about that how every major crops we will learn about in the next chapter, that how every crops need a particular temperature. Like rice needs different temperature, wheat need different climatic conditions. Some need more rainfall, some need less rainfall, some need more sunlight, some need less sunlight. Okay, some need little temperature or light temperature, some needs a very high temperature to for preparing. So every crop has their different climatic conditions to grow. Okay, so like that only, climate is the dominant factor that influences agriculture. Okay, like some plants thrive best under certain temperature conditions, which also determine their growth period. Like there are some places, like if we will talk about North India, so we are good in the cultivation of wheat. Okay, but if we will go to South India, the temperature of that place is not good for the cultivation of wheat. So basically we will see that the people of South India do not consume wheat so much. Okay, so this is only the reason. Like in Uttar Pradesh, there is the good cultivation of sugar cane, but there are some states where sugar cane is not cultivated. So basically, it depends upon the climatic conditions also. It depends upon the annual rainfall distribution also. Okay, it depends upon the water supply also. Okay, so next we will talk about soil. As we have learned in the previous chapter also about the soil, we have learned about various kinds of soil: black soil, alluvial soil, laterite soil, okay, red soil. So all soils have different types of nutrients and minerals in that, and every crops needs different type of soil for the cultivation. Like we have learned that cotton grows well in black soil. Okay, so like that only, soil also plays an important role for the agricultural growth, where there is the crop grows better where the variety of soil is available in which it can grow. So basically now we will talk about the relief and drainage. If we will talk about the relief features, so we cannot grow that much on the mountains, but we can grow well on the plains. So basically the places where there is large areas of plain, there we can grow better, and the places where the places that are mountainous regions, where we cannot grow well. Like that only, the places that are nearer or nearby to the rivers, where there we can grow well, because there is irrigation facility is easily available. But the places where there is less water, there we have to arrange artificial measures for irrigation purposes. So all these are the factors like relief and drainage. Okay, now basically the human factor, social, economic and political factors all plays an important role in influencing the type of agriculture practiced and even the crops and animals that are grown and raised at that place. Now students, here it is written economic, so you need money, you need finance for growing crops, because crops, for growing crops also you have to till the field, for you have to invest money for harvesting also, you have to invest money for seeds also, for good variety of seeds also, you have to invest money for if you are having large farms, then you have to invest money for the agricultural laborers also, you have to invest money for the irrigation also. Okay, so all these, for pesticides, insecticides, for fertilizers, so it need a good, if your the economic condition of the farmer is good, then he will be able to produce more. Now if we will talk about the social condition, so that also depends a large, because a person should be, all those things depend upon the how the agriculture production will be of that place. If we talk about political, the government plays an important role, because like free seeds availability, irrigation facility provided, they provide loan to the farmers. Okay, so all these plays an important role in the agricultural production of a particular place. The agricultural activity is primarily concerned in those regions where the key factors for suitable agricultural growth exist. Okay, so basically the crops, whatever requirement that crop needs, if at a particular place those requirements are getting filled, that means that crop can grow better in that place. So I hope it is clear to you. In this, we are going to learn about, first, I will tell you about two things. First one is arable land. Okay. Now, what is arable land? The land that is fit to be cultivated or farmed. That means the land that is fertile for the cultivation of any crop, that is arable land, where we can grow. Okay, that is arable. So, arable land is basically the land which is fertile enough to grow crops is known as arable land. Now, if we will talk about the next one, that is barren land. Barren means where we cannot grow anything. So the places, barren land means the land which is not fertile and not good for growing crops is known as barren land. Now, nextly, we are going to see about some of more agricultural activities that take place. In that, the first one is apiculture. So, apiculture is the rearing of bees. Okay, people used to rear bees for the production of honey as well as the other commercial products also. We get wax also. Okay, so people used to rear fishes, rear bees for the production of honey, wax and other commercial items. It is also a type of agriculture. Now nextly we will see sericulture. You are very well familiar about sericulture. It is the commercial rearing of silkworms to obtain raw silk. As we are knowing that how we get silk, you have already learned that we get silk from the cocoons. Okay, so basically it is a rearing of silkworms. Okay, because we get silk from the silkworm only. So there is, that is also known as sericulture. It is also a type of agriculture in which people used to rear silkworm for the production of silk. Now nextly we will see about viticulture. Viticulture is the cultivation of grapes. Okay, so basically people used to cultivate grapes for the manufacturing of basically wines. Okay, so grapes are also cultivated and for selling it in the markets also. So it is viticulture. So the cultivation of grapes is known as viticulture. Now nextly we will see what is horticulture. So students, in horticulture we can grow fruits, vegetables, flowers and medicinal as well as ornamental plants also. So basically the science and art of cultivating fruits, vegetables, flowers or ornamental plants or medicinal plants, that comes under the horticulture. You have to learn this. Next is pisciculture. This also maybe you have learned, the rearing of fishes, okay, under controlled conditions, that is known as pisciculture. So basically the breeding, the hatching, rearing of fishes under controlled condition for the commercial purposes, for selling the fishes in the market, that is known as pisciculture. Now, in the next part, I will explain you about the types of farming. Okay, like we have learned in class 7th about shifting cultivation, we are knowing about dairy farming. Okay, so about all those we will learn in the next part. But let's see what are the types of farming. First one is sedentary primitive subsistence farming. The next is about shifting cultivation. The next is intensive subsistence farming. The next is extensive commercial grain farming. We will learn about dairy farming. We will learn about mixed farming. We will learn about market gardening and horticulture. And we will learn about plantation agriculture also. Okay. So all these types of farming I will explain you in the next part. I hope this part is clear to you. In this we have learned about what is agriculture. We have learned about the key factors that affect the agricultural growth. We have learned about the economical activities like primary, secondary and tertiary, and we have learned about some types of agriculture like apiculture, okay, sericulture, horticulture, viticulture and pisciculture. So I hope this part is clear to you. Please read the book and then watch the video. Thank you, students.